I shook the teacher's hand, nodded politely, and left. I didn't say a word when my daughter introduced her stepdad as my real dad. And me, my mom's ex. Not dad, not even father, just the past. I walked out of that classroom with my fists clenched in my pockets, my jaw locked so tight I could feel it in my temples. But I didn't say a damn thing. Not to her, not to the man who smiled like he'd won. Not even to the teacher, who looked at me with something between confusion and pity. I don't do scenes. I do silence. And silence is a dangerous thing in the hands of a man like me. I was never the loud one. I didn't shout in the custody hearings. I didn't argue when she started calling him daddy just weeks after our divorce was final. I believed that love didn't need to be loud. It just had to be consistent. So I was. Birthdays, braces, summer camps, school pickups, I was there. Quietly, reliably. Her mother, though, she was theatrical, always needing a new beginning, a better version of life. And I was her middle chapter, the stable part she got bored with. She married up, at least in her eyes. New husband, bigger house, shinier car. And I paid the bills no one saw, wrote checks for school trips that got her praise, and never asked for credit. Because I thought one day my daughter would understand. But that night, she didn't. I wasn't angry at her, she's just a child, a product of her mother's whispered narratives. But that night, something inside me snapped into place. Not broken, not shattered, just shifted. And the very next morning, I called my bank and canceled the automatic payment for her braces. By noon, I'd pulled funding from the summer camp too. I wasn't punishing my daughter. I was removing myself from the game they thought I would keep playing blindfolded. The first call came 2 days later. My ex's voice, forced sweet. "There seems to be an issue with the ortho payment. Can you—" I said I'd look into it. Then I hung up. She texted the next day. "Camp says payment bounced. Did something change with your card?" I didn't reply. Then came the surprise visit. She stood at my door, makeup smudged, eyes red. "I don't know what's happening. Everything's falling apart." She sounded scared, not because of the money, but because she'd lost control. She was realizing something. I wasn't obligated anymore. I let her unravel in front of me, let her talk herself into circles, cry about bills, complain about her husband not stepping up, whine about how complicated life had gotten. I only spoke once. I thought I was just your ex, and I watched it hit her like a slap. The thing is, I had seen this coming, months before that night. The subtle shifts, my daughter parroting words I'd never said. The way her mother's husband suddenly started attending every event, every pickup. The way the narrative was being rewritten. I was being rewritten. So I started preparing. Quietly, like I always do. I transferred assets, rerouted my finances. I spoke with my lawyer and reopened custody discussions. Not to fight, but to record. I started gathering statements, screenshots, schedules. Not to destroy, to clarify. And I waited. The school's end-of-year meeting gave me the opportunity I needed. I requested a formal review of parental involvement records, something schools are obligated to provide. Turns out, I was listed as inactive. No showings on file, no notes from teachers, no PTA meetings attributed to me. Because she'd removed my name. She'd erased me. I didn't confront her. I filed. 3 days after the filing, she showed up again. No makeup this time, just fury. "You blindsided me. After everything I've done, how could you?" I kept my tone calm. I signed away my silence, not my dignity. She tried to scream, said I was abandoning my daughter. I told her I wasn't. I was just letting her and her husband finally be the parents they kept pretending to be. "I've carried you long enough," I said. "Let's see how far you walk without me." The court process was swift. Her husband didn't want added responsibility, didn't want financial entanglement. Suddenly, the new real dad was nowhere to be found. My daughter, she asked me, weeks later, why can't I go to camp? And I told her the truth. Because the people who claimed to have it all didn't. Then I hugged her, because she's still a child. But I didn't shield her from the truth anymore. I don't know what she calls me now, but I know what I am. The man who paid, cared, showed up. And when they spat me out and called it closure, I gave them a silence sharp enough to bleed. You don't need to shout to be heard. Sometimes you just need to stop saving people who never thanked you in the first place. They wanted freedom. I gave it to them, without the safety net they mistook for entitlement. And the best part? I never had to raise my voice.